Right now, I just got back from France. In France, I ate a bunch of good food, but not like what you think. Most of the best meals were homey, country-style meals, and that is exactly what this is. This is Cassoulet Day. We're American, and we eat casseroles, like tuna noodle, rustic, country, stewy, braisy. Clean out your fridge, put it in there, just like you would a casserole or soup or whatever. So we got some white beans, just simple canned. We don't need to soak dried beans or anything like that. If you're fancy and you want to do that, cool. Chicken base, vinegar, lemon juice, a little bit of sun-dried tomato just because I had it. For the vegetables, radishes, carrots, mushrooms, onion. You need some white wine. I just have the crappiest bottle of wine that I could find in my basement. Hey, Gracie, get down. You can't help film. It's white wine. Don't even show the label, I'm ashamed. I had some garlic parsley butter in my fridge because I'm a chef and we have stuff like that in my fridge. Salt, pepper, garlic, horseradish, we'll get to all that stuff. Chicken is the base of our cassoulet. So this is chicken thigh, boneless, skinless. We're not trying to do any more work than we need to. Seasoned it with tarragon, thyme, little paprika, salt, pepper, little olive oil, that's it. And we're gonna finish it with, the French term is persillade. Sounds fancy, but it's not fancy, very easy, using everything that you just have at your house. Probably helps if I turn the stove on. A couple glugs of oil. If you're cooking with nonstick, you don't need as much. If you're cooking with stainless, don't be afraid to use a lot of oil. This is a great spot to use some of this garlic parsley butter. This is in fact just garlic and parsley and butter. Non-salted butter, you can use salt if you want to, but it's way easier to add salt at the end instead of accidentally using salted butter for compound butters. That's just silly. The key to any good braise, half braise, is to always make sure you get a good sear on the chicken. Basically, you're just creating depth of flavor by searing the chicken off. Don't be afraid if you get some brown bits. The butter starts to brown, that's great. You want high heat. You want to hear that sizzle. There's two sides on the chicken thighs. There's kind of like a skin side or a smooth side, and then the kind of rough, lumpy side. You always want to go smooth side down first. Just like Maillard reaction, I'm not going to get into the whys of it, but I just do it that way. So while the chicken thighs are searing, because you want to make sure you get a good hard sear, we're going to toss our vegetables in a little olive oil, salt, pepper. If you wanted to be complicated, you could do it in stages. I don't want to do that. This is supposed to be easy. Something you could throw together within 20 minutes or so, half hour of getting home. Ooh, this is sexy. You got some burnt on bits coming at the bottom of the pan. That's good. You want that. And we'll deglaze the pan, which is what the crappy cupcake wine is for. So don't worry. All the good stuff will come off the bottom. Vegetables in. So it's a lot of vegetables. It's kind of crowded. That's fine. The moisture from the vegetables is actually going to kind of cook in and help to deglaze the pan. Half cup. Ish. Our chicken base. And we're going to use our tongs. And we're going to make sure that we really keep the food in and scrape up all the good stuff off the bottom. We're just going to chop up some sun-dried tomatoes and pop them in here real quick. And I want it to be more of a minced kind of pasty. So it just basically kind of cooks into the sauce. Sun-dried tomato in, we'll let that cook in. Add a splash of vinegar, again, making sure that nothing gets too heavy. This is just white wine vinegar. I'm not fancy, it's just simple. We're gonna throw our beans in. We're gonna add a little bit of water to this when we put it into the oven and put the chicken thighs back in. And then this is all just gonna cook down together. We wanted to give it a head start before it goes into the oven, so that way all those vegetables can actually kind of soften while this stuff's working, because we don't want to waste time. You want to get dinner done so that way you can like watch Real Housewives or some shit. I don't know. Love is Blind actually is what my current well, what my wife is currently watching. She's watching Love is...
Your current wife?
Well, my current wife is watching Love is Blind, and God, that show's awful. But, so if you want to get dinner done and get to watching your trash TV, you need to work efficiently. So while that's doing its thing, we're going to make our parsley persillade. You don't need to be picky about removing the leaves from the stems. Parsley, very similar to cilantro, has flavor in the stem just as well as in the leaves. So load that in. We got some horseradish, probably about a tablespoon. Add a little lemon juice for some acidity. And we're gonna add a little olive oil to make sure you have enough liquid to get it started. It's such a quiet food processor. Drizzle in olive oil while it's working. There's no real recipe for this because you might like it a little more lemony, you might like it less lemony, you might want more oil, you might not want to use a lot of oil at all. There's no wrong way. Okay, well really the radishes and the carrots haven't softened up yet. They're going to do that in the oven. Check our persillade. Pretty good, just needs a little more salt. So the horseradish gives you a nice bite. We got a little salt and pepper in there, lemon, olive oil. I did a splash of vinegar as well, just because I like it a little extra punchy. That's it. Before this over reduces and we start getting stuff sticking to the bottom, we're gonna add our chicken thighs back in, add a little bit of water, so that way, as it goes into the oven, it doesn't over reduce, we don't burn anything, and also it being that kind of stewy, braisy situation, we've already got the chicken stock, or the chicken base in here, the wine in here, a little bit of butter. You need water to kind of balance that out, otherwise it's just going to be too salty. Also, things won't cook if they don't have any liquid surrounding them. You're probably going to cook that at about 350, 375. You really want the vegetables to soften up. You want that liquid to reduce down. Chicken thighs, they don't need a ton of time to cook. You can cook chicken thighs in 10, 15 minutes. There's definitely a point of no return where if you overcook it, it's gonna dry out just like anything will. Best guess, 30-ish minutes. And then you come out with a lovely, beautiful, brown, breadcrumby topped with still a little bit of liquid that you can kind of see poking through here. That's gonna add like a nice saucy element to it. Try and find a chicken thigh. I love radishes. Earthiness of the mushrooms. The beans really add that nice creamy starchy element. I gotta get some chicken, but I almost don't even need it. The vegetables are so savory. That chicken is perfect. That horseradish and the lemon does a great job of balancing out, not heaviness, that's not the right word, savoriness of the rest of the cassoulet.